I want to start with something I need you to understand about why I show up here every single day. I don't create content, I provide value to people who need to grow, in turn, through what I offer them. And I build a system that generates the resources to keep doing it at scale. Every day produces. That is the recalibrated anchor, not views, not followers, not the performance of authority for an audience still deciding whether to trust the source. Daily value, daily production, daily service to the one soul behind the screen who is ready to receive what I am here to offer. Today, what I am here to offer is the complete biology of the most misunderstood social signal alive in 2026. The signal that makes people respect you. Not the loud signal, not the impressive credential or the perfectly constructed argument or the status marker that announces worse before worse has been demonstrated. The silent one, the one that operates beneath language, beneath performance, beneath every conscious social strategy you have ever tried to deploy in rooms where you needed to be taken seriously. The pause, specifically the quality of your relationship with silence under pressure. Here is what I mean by that and why it matters more than anything else you could say or do or achieve in any room you will ever enter. Most people in 2026 are terrified of silence, specifically of the silence that follows a provocation, a challenge, a question designed to destabilize, a comment aimed at testing whether you can be rattled. The silence that arrives when someone says something that your ego wants to immediately respond to. Your nervous system wants to immediately defend against. Your social programming wants to immediately feel before it becomes uncomfortable. Most people feel that silence instantly, reflexively, with explanation or a justification or counter argument or the particular verbal scramble of someone whose internal state has just been successfully accessed by an external input. And in that feeling, in that reflexive rush to speak, before the silence becomes unbearable, they transmit the most important social signal available to any nervous system in any room. They signal that their interior is accessible from the outside. That with the right provocation, the right question, the right comment delivered in the right tone, their internal state can be reached, rattled, and redirected by someone outside them. That they are at the biological level governable from the exterior. And governable from the exterior is the precise opposite of respected. Respect, genuine, involuntary, nervous system level respect, not the performed deference that looks like respect but dissolves the moment the performance ends and is transmitted by one thing and one thing only, the signal that your internal world cannot be accessed without your permission, that you are at the biological level the sole governor of your own internal state. And that signal is transmitted by not by what you say, but by what you choose not to say, not by the quality of your argument, but the quality of your pause before the argument begins, not by the content of your response, but by the calm, unhurried, completely undefensive state from which the response eventually comes. When you can sit inside the provocation, feel it arrive, feel it register, let it complete its attempt to access your interior, and then choose your response from a place of genuine regulation rather than reactive defense. You transmit something that no credential or achievement or status symbol can replicate. You transmit ungovernable, and the ungovernable in a social landscape where almost everyone is one notification, one comment, one unexpected question away from a full nervous system activation is the rarest and the most powerful frequency in any room. I want to show you what this looks like in practice because the concept is simple and the execution is where most people fail. Not from lack of discipline, but from lack of the biological infrastructure that makes the pause genuinely possible rather than performed. There is a critical distinction here that determines everything. A performed pause and a genuine pause transmit completely different signals. A performed pause is a strategy. It is the deliberate decision to count to three before responding. to appear calm while the interior is fully activated. To use the appearance of regulation as a social tool while the actual nervous system is running a full defensive protocol beneath the surface. People feel this, not always consciously, but biologically. The nervous system of the person across from you is also scanning, also running its own continuous assessment, also receiving signals from your biology that your words are not producing. A performed pause in an activated system feels like control, and control, like all performed states, creates distrust rather than respect. A genuine pause is different entirely. It is not a strategy layered on top of an activated system. It is the natural expression of a genuinely regulated one. It is what happens when your nervous system has a stable enough internal reference point that an external provocation simply does not reach the activation threshold. When you can feel the provocation arrive, and genuinely not as a performance, but as an actual biological reality, remain unaffected by it. When the silence is comfortable, not because you are suppressing the discomfort, but because there is no discomfort to suppress, that genuine pause, that genuine unhurried stillness from which your response eventually and calmly comes. That is the silent signal, and it is untransmissible by strategy alone. I look at what I am building here and with complete honesty and complete transparency. 200 subscribers on YouTube, 185 followers on TikTok, Rumble, building from zero, 27 people who found the free reset, one who walked the complete path, building this system from €23 toward €250,000 by September 2027. Every day produces, every video is a deposit into a system that serves the people who need it and generates the resources to reach them at greater scale. The gap between tens of thousands of views and 27 people who moved is this exact signal gap. Most people watching now know intellectually that the pose is powerful. Most have even tried to deploy it as a strategy, and most have found that the strategy collapses under genuine pressure because the biological infrastructure for the genuine pause was not yet built. Building that infrastructure is not a a mind project. It is not a discipline project. It is a nervous system project. It requires direct biological access to the regulation layer, the level beneath conscious thought, where the activation actually originates, and where the genuine pause either exists or doesn't. The mirror practice was built for exactly this construction. Not to teach you the strategy of the pause, to build the nervous system from which the genuine pause becomes the natural default. To create internal architecture where ungovernable is not a performance you deploy in important rooms, but the biological reality you inhabit in every room, regardless of the stakes. 27 people are building that architecture. One has completed it. The reset is free. 1 minute of direct biological contact with your own regulation baseline. Not a strategy for appearing regulated, but actual contact with the state from which genuine regulation originates. The full mirror practice is 19 euro. It is the complete construction of the internal architecture that makes the silent signal not a tool you use but a frequency you permanently transmit. Stop explaining yourself into respect, soul. Stop arguing your words into rooms that are waiting for you to demonstrate it differently. The moment you can sit inside the silence without needing to feel it, the entire room recalibrates around the new signal. That recalibration is not something you produce. It is something your biology transmits. Build the biology first. Drop pause in the comments if you have felt the difference between a performed calm and a genuine one, and know exactly which one you are still working toward. I am Tudor. My anchor is recalibrated. Every day produces. I'll see you in the genuine pose.